The first significant change that we're announcing today will free ratepayers from being unfairly saddled with the full cost of defective building work. Right now, councils are understandably hesitant to sign off on consents and inspections because they can be held fully liable for every defect in a build, even when most of the fault lies elsewhere. This often happens when one of the parties responsible cannot or will not pay for repairs. For example, if a business goes bust or chooses to walk away by filing for insolvency. Building owners can claim full compensation from any responsible party, and it's often councils with the deepest pocket and no option to walk away that end up paying out. This is not a small problem, and a 2018 report estimated that councils paid an extra $330 million over 10 years for defects for which they were not responsible. That's money that could have gone into local services and infrastructure. One such example occurred in 2015 when the Oaks Shore Body Corporate in Queenstown filed a $160 million claim for weather-tight defects. The developer had already gone into liquidation and wasn't sued, leaving ratepayers potentially on the hook for the entire claim. If that hadn't been settled privately, rates could have gone up by $300 per year for the next 30 years. So it's time to put the responsibility where it belongs. The government will scrap the current framework, known as joint and several liability, and replace it with proportionate liability. Under this new model, each party will only be responsible for the share of the work that they actually carried out or the decisions that they signed off. This will remove the fear that slows down the consenting process currently, reduce costs and reduce the risk to ratepayers having to underwrite someone else's mistakes. Australian states have worked under proportionate liability since the 1990s. We'll also be exploring consumer protection measures such as professional indemnity insurance and home warranties, similar to those in Australia. Private home warranty schemes already exist here as well, such as the Certified Builder's Halo Guarantee and the Master Builder's 10-year guarantee. The price for this kind of peace of mind represents roughly 1% of a total build's cost, and in many cases is already paid and accounted for. The second major change that we're announcing today will allow councils to voluntarily consolidate their building consent authority functions with each other. Right now, there are 66 different council building consent authorities across the country, each with their own interpretation of the building code. This has resulted in a ridiculous situation where builders can have their paperwork rejected by one council, whereas it would be accepted by the one up the road. That's inefficient, frustrating and costly. It's particularly challenging for large-scale home builders, off-site manufacturers and modular and prefabricated builders who work across regional boundaries. We need to support this kind of building if we're going to boost housing supply. Many councils have been asking for this change. I expect that they will seize the opportunity to pool resources such as inspectors and IT systems and pass the savings on to ratepayers. Making common sense reforms like these to supercharge building in this country is an important part of this government's economic growth plan.